Hello ladies, Sian Burton here, your private practice scaling and marketing expert. And today we are going to be talking about how you can transition some of those very stubborn clients who insist on only seeing you from your caseload to your team's caseload. And I know for many of you, this is a really big challenge. It's something that you try and reduce your caseload. And then there's just those people who refuse, let's say, and insist on seeing you and that you are the only person who can help them. And I know that it can feel like a very personal thing to move someone off your caseload, particularly if they've been there for a long time. And many of my clients will say, I've tried and I just can't move these people. They don't want to go anywhere else. They won't see anybody else. I'm stuck. And I firstly want you to know that that is not the case. We're going to talk today about how you can do that and do it effectively, but also do it in a way where your clients thank you and they're like, that was amazing. Thank you so much for moving me to someone else. And the reason it's so important that you do this is that if you are seeing more clients than you want to see, or that makes sense for you to see in your mind, and that is very personal. There's no one size fits all about what that looks like. For some of you, that's no clients. For some of you, that's a day of clients. For some of you, that's 2 days of clients. But if it's not where you want it to be and you feel like you're fighting against your clients to be able to do that, and in honesty giving up on it, we need to fix that, because your business is suffering, you're suffering, your mental health is suffering, your energy is suffering, your family is suffering, all because clients are dictating to you how it should be. And the mindset shift I really want you to think about here, because I know it can be challenging to make these transitions and to move clients off. And sometimes you'll feel bad maybe, and you'll think, this person really needs to see me. I am the best therapist in my practice for this person. But what I would encourage you to think about is something that we spoke about in a video previously, which is if you prioritize your client's needs over your family's needs, that's not going to feel good in the long term, right? And I don't even know that you realize sometimes that that's what's happening. But if you have a client who says, I can only see you at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday, and you'd really like to pick your kids up from school, but you say, okay, well, that's the only time, and they won't see anybody else, and I feel like I should see them. In that moment, probably without realizing it, you're prioritizing that client over your family and yourself and what you'd like. And that doesn't work long term. Like, that's how you burn out. That's how your business becomes very heavy and how you stop enjoying what you're doing. So how do we do this transition? How do we move people from your caseload to your team's caseload in a way that leaves them happy that you did it? There's 3 things to focus on, right? The first is that you need to be really clear on who the ideal clients are for all of your team. And if you have anybody on your caseload for whom they are not your ideal client, but there's somebody else who's in your team's ideal client, they need to move from your caseload. And how you can position that, let's say that you have, let's say you're a speech pathologist and you love feeding, and you've got a reading client who is dyslexic, who's been on your caseload for 4 years because they're really long term, and they don't want to go anywhere else because the parents are used to you, the kids are used to you, but that's not what you love to do. It's not where you're expanding your knowledge and expertise. And you have someone on your team for whom that is what they love to do, and they are expanding their expertise. You need to move that child. Like, the parents might tell you that the child doesn't want to move, but from a therapeutic point of view, that child is not getting the best by seeing you, because that's not your ideal client. And so the conversation there is simply, I have another team member who I have trained, but who actually has a special interest in whatever it is this person is having therapy for, and knows far more than I do right now. They're doing a lot of extended professional development and research around this area, and I think that they would be a far better fit for you. And I really am confident that you're going to get better outcomes quicker by seeing this other therapist instead of seeing me. I'm not the right fit for you here, and I'm really invested in you or your child getting the best outcome as quickly as possible. So I'm going to move you to Jody, and have her see you instead. If at any point you're really not happy with what's happening, please let me know, and we would definitely discuss me seeing you again. But I really feel like this is going to be the best fit, and Jodie is amazing. So I'm going to get you booked in with her. Like, notice how it's really assumptive. I'm going to do it because you know this is the right thing for them. So let that confidence and assertion come through, and don't let them dictate to you what actually isn't the right outcome for them. Let's say that there isn't anybody in your team for whom this person is more of an ideal client than you. Let's say that it's not an ideal client for you, but it's not an ideal client for anybody else. If you've been seeing that person for a long time, which is generally the situation, how I would suggest you position it is that, as we know, when we see therapists for a long period of time, we get comfortable and the results tend to diminish because there's a comfort and there's a familiarity, and that it's not as easy to push someone. So I would use that. So I've been working with you for a really long time, and you've seen some really great gains in our work together. But what I've noticed is that your improvements are starting to plateau a bit, and they're not happening as quickly as I would like them to, and as I know you would like them to achieve your goals. I have an amazing team member who I feel is going to give a fresh perspective to your therapy and allow you to start to pick up the pace of your improvements so that you can hit your goals quickly and efficiently, and spend less time in therapy, right? Because nobody wants to be coming to extended periods of therapy. So what I'm going to suggest is that you have a session with them so you can get to know them a little bit, see how their approach is, see the amazing fresh ideas that they're going to bring. And I will be working alongside you and ensuring that you're still making those huge gains that we've been seeing, but that they continue on and that they don't drop off like they might do if we continue in the way that we've been continuing. If at any point you're not happy with this new therapist, by all means, you can absolutely come back to me. But I'm really confident that you're going to love the fresh ideas that this therapist is going to bring. You see how it sounds like a positive thing for the person. They actually don't desperately want to see you unless they become codependent, or it's a more of a friendship relationship they've built with you, neither of which are reasons for you to be seeing that client. They just want to get the best therapy and the best outcomes, and they're under the belief that that is with you. It's just your job to teach them and show them that that's not actually the case, and that seeing this member of my team has fresh perspective, seeing this member of my team has knowledge I don't have, seeing this member of my team can provide more convenience. I know that these times don't work for you, so let's but I know that my team member over here has lots of capacity on a Tuesday afternoon. Let's just get you over there and have a session and try it out, see how they are. But I think that convenience is going to make a real difference for you and allow you to be consistent with your therapy in a way that maybe you're not able to now. The final thing you can do is just to squeeze your time, so that, which you'll already be doing. And when people start to have below the frequency that is needed for their best outcomes, that then is, the follow on to that conversation around convenience is you need to be having therapy once a week. And I don't have availability for that, unfortunately. So I'd suggest that we do, you might suggest they do one session the other week with someone else. And then eventually you just kind of remove yourself, you go on holiday, they continue on, they don't look back in with you. So that's the other way that you can do it, around being very clear on the health outcomes and what is needed for them to achieve what they want to achieve. Because if you're really honest with yourself, those people aren't either getting the best of you because they're not your ideal client, they're not getting the convenience that they want because they're insisting on seeing you, they're not getting the frequency that they need because you don't have availability, or they truly have been with you so long that you're like, well, I feel like we're going through the motions, and a fresh perspective would be helpful. The biggest thing in this, though, is you taking the role of clinician and saying, this isn't the right clinical thing for you, and that is my job to ensure that you see the right person and that you are getting the right therapy and treatment. Now, obviously, there are some people for whom that you are the only person, and we need to be in integrity and and be authentic with this. But if there's absolutely 4 or 5 clients that, using what I've just talked you through today, you can clear off your caseload and move to another team member and feel like it's the right thing to do. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What does this give you some verbiage that you can use? Does it give you some ideas about how you might go about do that go about doing that. If this is something you would like more help with and generally filling your team's caseload, check out the link above about my signature program, Success Without Sacrifice. We spend a lot of time talking about clearing caseloads, ideal clients, getting your team full, and we have some amazing results with clients too. So that's all for me today. I look forward to seeing you ladies next week, and I hope that's been helpful for you today.